So I just saw the adaptation of Beatrix Potter's beloved children's books, Peter Rabbit, just to see what the fuss was about when it came to an apparent food allergy bullying scene that people were complaining about. I read this on Twitter and I was like, this is pretty ridiculous. Another thing that people are complaining about movies. So I wanted to go to the theater, form my own opinion, and to see that the very thing that people are complaining about that makes them want to boycott this movie. Upon purchasing my ticket, I walk inside the theater. Parents and children are all looking at me like I'm some sort of creep. I sit down and I immediately start regretting it. And I was like, oh my God, I just paid $7 to see Peter Rabbit on the big screen. On that night, there was two things that I learned. Was for one, the food allergy bullying scene was only 10 seconds long out of an hour and a half long movie. And two, I'm actually really quite surprised to say this, Peter Rabbit is actually a pretty good movie. The trailers made the movie seem like it was going to be a cringy children's movie filled with fart and poop jokes containing no real message or purpose for both families and children, but I was surprised on how this movie proved me wrong. Instead, the movie was a meta-humor story in which the characters such as Peter Rabbit and his friends were fully aware of them being inside a storybook that didn't feel too forced at all. The slapstick comedy was actually very creative, almost like I was watching an episode of Tom and Jerry, that level of creativity. Some good character progression here and there, some good acting, and a really good message on fear of loss and how it affects one's soul. I'm not even kidding, that's one of the themes of the movie. And of course, like, this movie has some flaws, like the CGI could have been touched up a little better, the actors looked like they were having a tough time trying to figure out what they were looking at, were like trying to imagine the CG animals there. There were some dumb, illogical decisions made by some characters, and Domhnall Gleeson's character kind of got a little annoying at times, but I was honestly expecting this movie to be just straight up garbage, and it was nowhere even near what I anticipated it to be. So if you have a family or if you have any kids, take them to see Peter Rabbit. I think they'll have a great time watching some pretty entertaining slapstick humor. Unless maybe you're against something like the food allergy bullying scene, which I'm going to talk about right now. If you have not seen Peter Rabbit, I highly suggest you see the movie and then you come back and watch this video. Otherwise, here we go. We're going to talk about some spoilers. Doesn't really affect the story too much because I'm only talking about a 10-second long scene. Well, actually, I'm going to talk more into the movie. So yeah, it's going to be some spoilers, so you have been warned. All the scene really contains is that Peter Rabbit learns that Domhnall Gleeson's character is allergic to blackberries. So actually, you know, it's the coolest thing ever how Peter Rabbit learns this, because it's as if they knew that the audience was going to get upset at them, because like how I mentioned before, how it's a meta-humored story, Peter Rabbit kind of turns towards the screen and looks at the audience. He's like, I hope you guys don't send any letters in the mail to us.
Nothing but the gangster shit.
It's like they knew that you guys would get upset over this. So the rabbits use their newly found knowledge and use it against the dude so he doesn't get any closer to the Rose Byrne's character. And the whole reason why the rabbits are beating this guy up is because they feel if he takes Rose Byrne's character and keeps her for himself, then in a way, it's kind of like the rabbits are losing a mother figure. And the rabbits can't go through with that again because Domhnall Gleeson's uncle, who died of a heart attack in the beginning of the movie, he kills the father, and then the mother died of natural causes. So they can't stand or can't go through with losing another parent figure. And that's why they're doing this to this guy, so they can just make him go away, and they don't have that feeling towards themselves again. So during that food allergy bullying sequence, the rabbits, due to their wild nature, they shoot the blackberries into Domhnall Gleeson's mouth. He has an allergic reaction, and this causes him to choke. He falls to the ground. He pulls out an adrenaline shot, puts it in his leg to suppress the reaction, and he's good. That's the entire scene. That's the scene that people are getting upset about. Now look, if you're one of those people that gets upset over movies having scenes that contain, I don't know, something that you don't agree with, maybe like for, I don't know, 10 seconds long, just like the food allergy bullying scene, then don't see the movie and don't take your children to see the movie. It's that simple. I'm telling you guys to see the movie because it's a good time, it's a good movie, and who knows, maybe whoever that you go with, that you're going to create some precious memories later down the line that you're going to cherish for a long time. Through a fictional character having CGI rabbits shoot blackberries into his mouth and having an allergic reaction. That's actually the best kind of memories. But I do want to say real quick is that the people who are accusing Peter Rabbit of encouraging food allergy bullying to their children most likely doesn't understand the context within the movie. Although the scene was built up to be in a very upbeat sort of way, the rabbits were trying to do everything they can just so Domhnall Gleeson's character doesn't get any closer to Rose Byrne's character to have them have a real relationship. The rabbits don't want that. And the rabbits eventually learn later on in the movie that everything that they have done to Domhnall Gleeson's character was absolutely wrong, including the food allergy bullying scene. So, if parents are getting upset that children are going to emulate every single action that the CGI rabbits are going to do, such as the food allergy bullying scene, shouldn't they also assume that they will learn from their mistakes just like how the rabbits will? Because the rabbits learned that everything they've done was wrong, so shouldn't children know that too? CGI rabbits, they learn from right and wrong, so people are getting upset that the children are going to do the same exact thing that the CGI rabbits do, so maybe the children are going to do the same exact thing and learn right from wrong right then and there as they're watching the movie. And that's like the problem today is like I feel like we're getting oversensitive over a few topics without really examining on what's in front of us first, and which causes us to jump to conclusions. If you're one of those people that believes that Peter Rabbit encourages food allergy bullying, then maybe you should look into character motivations and character progression, you know, the things that matter in filmmaking. There's a fly in here. I want it gone. I don't know if you guys can hear it buzzing. You know, I'm going to get this fly later because it's way too fast for me. But like I was saying, what really matters within filmmaking is that the characters, like they absolutely matter. Examine a character. Look at their motivations. Also look at the progression within the film because, again, we're kind of not examining the characters the way we should be. And that's what makes them into good characters, because they're different from the beginning and the end of the movie. And if we ignore that, then we're just ignoring on how characters should be written and their journey throughout the entire film. Now, let's not have one scene dictate on our overall views of the entire film, let alone try and boycott it, because it's getting ridiculous now. Or, like I said before, if you don't like the things that they're teaching children these movies, then don't show them the movie. It's simple. And for those boycotting the movie or trying to boycott the movie, try and boycott other animated movies too, such as The Lion King. In the movie, it has a brother killing another brother, so is it going to encourage children to kill their siblings? Or Shrek, for that matter, is it going to encourage kids that the swamp life is the grand, luxurious life? Because they played the song All-Star in there, so it must mean that the swamp life is pretty sweet. Or The Prince of Egypt, are they going to encourage kids to take babies, throw them into a lake, and have them get eaten by alligators? I mean, yeah, it's getting way too out of hand, guys. But you know what? I rest my case, because we shouldn't get oversensitive over an animated film such as Peter Rabbit that was meant to be fun for kids. And I do encourage you guys to go see it, because it's a charming movie. And any executive out there who worked on the film Peter Rabbit, hey, feel free to share this video and show the audience that your movie's actually really good. So I applaud you for that. In the meantime, I'll see you guys later, because I really gotta get this fly. It's super annoying me. Follow me on Patreon. Support the show for $1. It would be super awesome to have you guys. God, this fly is really distracting me. I'll see you guys soon. I'm gonna leave every social media link that I have in the description box below. I'll see you later.
The bunny, whoa, I love the bunny. I don't love my soup or my bread, just the bunny, yeah, I love the bunny. I gave everything that I had for the bunny.